Hi guys, welcome to the channel. I'm XeroState Live, your source for Star Citizen gameplay and content on YouTube. I do stream on Twitch 5 to 6 days a week, so make sure to check the link in the description down there. There's also a link to a Discord server that you can join. Whether you're a new player or a veteran, there will be a place for you there at that community. Make sure to click the like and subscribe button on YouTube here for more YouTube content involving Star Citizen particularly, as well as my channel. I want to thank you for being here, and let's get started. Alright, so the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to wake up in your hab. And you'll use your interact key, which is the F key in your keyboard, to look around to the left and right. On the left, you'll see the get up option. Select that. Familiarize yourself with your hab just a bit. The habs at New Babbage are actually pretty posh. You've got a couple of gun racks there, you've got a closet, etc. Not much is functional at the moment as of 3.11. But will be in the future. Exiting your hab, you can look out the window to see New Babbage. It's currently nighttime here. It's very early in the morning. And you'll round the corner to an elevator. Select the elevator button. Elevator buttons are subject to change in future updates, but they'll always be the same general concept. Using your interact key to look at this elevator panel, you may have to scroll. Keep that in mind. Using the scroll wheel on your mouse, quite useful in many situations. You really have to think of them like touchscreens. Selecting the lobby will not play much of a sound at the moment, but your elevator should make its way to the lobby. If you run into any particular issues with your elevator opening and closing, you can always select lobby again. There is actually an open door button, but that one wasn't working, so select lobby and the door will reopen. So you've made your way out of your hab. You are now in New Babbage proper. You're going to want to take a left. Again, familiarize yourself with some of your surroundings. You can see some big stairs down that says MT Metro Loop. That stands for Microtech Metro Loop. We're going to head down these stairs at best possible speed. Now keep in mind when you're running through any place in what I would call FPS mode, or in your person, and you're going to want to take a left to get to the spaceport. You can also go to the Commons, where you can purchase lots of things at New Babbage, but again, our goal here is just to leave New Babbage and get to our corresponding spaceport. So you can see the tram departing in 10 seconds. Sometimes those tram numbers are correct, and sometimes they're not. Basically, if the doors open, you can get in. So basically, we're sitting here in the tram just waiting for it to depart, and there we go. The trams at New Babbage are terrifyingly fast. And as always, I would recommend, at this point, to try to ignore the global chat in the upper left as much as possible. We'll talk a little bit about autopilot on our trip. Autopilot is an interesting mechanic in Star Citizen. At the moment, autopilot is a bit aggressive. The nice thing about spawning at New Babbage is New Babbage's landing structure, which is the New Babbage Interstellar Spaceport, or NBIS for short, doesn't actually have any autopilot, so you can come and go as you please. The tram is what I would call fast AF, and it comes to a halt quite quickly. As we go through these tunnels, very interesting. This whole trip. The New Babbage tram actually takes longer than most of the other trams when you get on them, just because it's such a long distance up to the NBIS. Alright, we've arrived at the spaceport. The doors are going to open, so we got to get our butts off of this tram. Now, there are two directions to go, and you can see that there's another tram on the other side. You can see that there's the Commons side there. And there's the exit as well. You can see Aspire Grand, and the tram that we were just on is going to take a loop back to the Commons. And if we head through this to the left, we are at a bank of elevators. Call the elevator. These elevators are usually pretty much instant, and we want to go to the NBIS terminal. Now, terminal is exactly what it sounds like. It's a place where you can spawn your ship, as well as take an elevator to your hangar. and get away from the planet. Again, the goal of our little foray here is to get away from the planet. So, the elevator arrives, and you find yourself in another room full of elevators. Keep in mind, you can pretty much play this video backwards to get back to New Babbage proper if you'd like. But here we are. We're going to make our way through security. Keep in mind the security terminal is there to your left. If you ever run from the police and get just a fine but not a crime stat, you can pay off your fine there. Coming up the stairs, rounding the corner to the right, up another flight of stairs, you'll see lots of NPCs that look pretty dead. Their eyes are a bit like doll's eyes, black and lifeless. Anyway, stop by the gift shop on your way through, pick up a Pico Penguin. Makes for a great co-pilot. There are also refreshments available. There is a survival aspect to the game. Yep, hi Pico, how's it going? We're going to skip the Pico this time. 150 UAC is a little bit too rich for our blood, but assuming that you guys used my referral code to set up an account, you'll have 5,000 UAC to work with. You can see those elevators back there. Those are going to come in handy in a minute. We're going to check out the vehicle retrieval console. Now, these consoles are at certain locations at different ports. You'll see a list of the ships that you own, and you'll see some ships that say claim and some ships that say retrieve. Sometimes, most of the time, they will say retrieve. If they say claim, you can click that claim button to essentially respawn the ship. Now, keep in mind that when you click retrieve, your ship, in this case a MISC Freelancer, is going to be delivered to New Babbage. Now, if you check the console again, it is supposed to say what hangar you're at, but in this case it says unknown hangar. We know that that's hangar 4, and so we can head to hangar 4. We know where it's at. Never rely on technology to give you what you know already. So we're going to select hangar 4. Again, using that interact key, the ever useful interact key. And select hangar 4. And as you can see, we are moving closer and closer to our Freelancer. That was a quick ride. And here we are at hangar 4. Familiarize yourself with the hangar just a bit. You're going to be landing in one of these hangars if you come back to New Babbage. Sup, Kaler? How's it going? He says sup, guys, in the global chat. All right. Use the interact key to open up the back of your, in this case, Freelancer. Different ships have different ways to get in. I did a video for each one. We'd be here a long time. So, just using the Freelancer. Because a lot of people have access to a Freelancer. All right. Getting up to the cockpit. The front left is the pilot seat. There is a co-pilot seat as well. Eventually, multi-crew is going to be a very big thing in Star Citizen. Using your interact key, you'll see a flight ready option. Make sure to choose flight ready and not power on. Power on will just power on your ship. Flight ready, make sure that your thrusters and your shields and everything else are online. Utilizing one of your panels, you can actually see that you can hail the New Babbage International Spaceport. You may be wondering how to open that door in front of us for the hangar. Well, you can use that to hail them and open the door, or you can enter your Mobiglass. Mobiglass is another very useful object in the game. And we're going to go to our friends list there. New Babbage International Spaceport, unfortunately, is at the top of our friends list. Click that little comms button to hail them. They will open the door for you. They'll also play you a nice message. Definitely not pre-recorded. Now keep in mind you have a throttle limiter, speed limiter, excuse me, there on the left. And as you scroll your mouse, that will change speed. So we want to keep that fairly low at the onset for more precision flying. And as you can see, it's kind of a tight fit. However, we were able to make it out of the hangar, no problem. We definitely want to hit F4 to get a third-person view of our ship. And as you can see, we can see the city of New Babbage beneath us there. Now, again, our goal is to get out of here. We're going to fly up at about a 50 to 75 degree angle. That's the angle that I usually take to get out of atmosphere. Now we can see that our speed limiter has gone up, and that's because we scrolled upwards on our scroll wheel on the mouse. Atmosphere will keep you at a pretty low speed, especially in a larger ship like the Freelancer. But you can keep in mind your sea level altitude, which is soon going to be changing to a ground level altitude indicator. You can see that you have gear. That's your landing gear notification. Now we have raised our landing gear with the N key. That's going to come in handy later. Make sure to do that. quantum traveling, which you'll see shortly, automagically raises your landing gear. Now that pip that I'm circling right there is a directional pip that basically says you are heading in this direction. Now that will move as you move your ship. You can see that I'm pressing A and D, and now I'm pressing spacebar and kind of moving that around a bit. That is a direct representation of the direction that your ship is heading. As you can see, we've gained about 10 kilometers of altitude away from the planet. We are going a little bit faster. We've also turned on our cruise control by using the C key on our keyboard to toggle that. It's a very dangerous thing when you're precision flying, so be aware of that and only use that when you know you're going to be cruising for a while. We've reached the altitude, which I believe is about 13,000 meters or 13 kilometers, where we could, if we wanted to, spool our quantum drive and look around for something to quantum drive to. Looks like Kaler is going to be doing some chill rock mining on Daymar. And he's on a small server. Congratulations, buddy. Hopefully it went well. All right, we've reached 20 kilometers at this point, so it's definitely time to tap the B key. B as in Bravo on our keyboards. That will spool our quantum drive. And we can look around a little bit to find a place that's nearby to quantum travel to. Now, there are some orbital markers. You'll see OM1 just there. What we're looking for is Port Tressler. Port Tressler is a square instead of a diamond. As you can see, it's about 123 kilometers away. It orbits above New Babbage at all times. Very easy to see. And at this point, I have accidentally unspooled my quantum drive. So what we're going to do is, to avoid the muddiness of all of those locations, we're going to check out Microtech. Now, double-clicking in your map is always a very good thing. F2 brings up your map by default. As you can see, we have selected Port Tressler. And we're going to click Set Route. You can see we've set the route over there. It's going to take very little fuel because it's not very far at all. And then we're going to spool our quantum drive. Now, as you can see, when I spool my quantum drive, Port Tressler is the only location that shows up. All those other triangles or directionals to other locations have disappeared because my quantum drive is locked to Port Tressler, and it's focused on that. So, pressing and holding the B key for Bravo, the B key will, once you are spooled and calibrated, will engage your quantum drive and send you where you want to go. At this point, we're just going to fly in. I try not to keep my speed any higher than maybe, 600 or 700 at this point. You can speed in too fast at times. If you're really in a hurry, you can get yourself up to top speed, but you're going to have to keep in mind that these places do get closer to you quite quickly. Opening your Moby Glass, we're going to look at the comm link tab. You can see Port Tressler on our friends list again. Hail them.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
And you can see that they've told us to proceed to assigned landing bay, and it gives us a landing pip. Now that pip is a circle with a down arrow on it. If that arrow is pointing upwards, you are upside down. So you'll want to rotate your ship. Now keep in mind your speed here. You're going to want to slow down quite a bit. People often crash into stations because they're coming in just too fast. I'm tapping the X key here. The X key is your space brake key, which will allow you to slow down unidirectionally. No matter which direction you're flying, it will do your best. The ship will do its best to slow you down to a stop. Space brake is quite useful. At this point, we're going to have to lower our landing gear, tapping the N key. And you can see in the lower left of our HUD that the gear notification icon has come up. Those blue lights are given for your pad. Now, there's two options here. You can just slap your ship down on the pad at this point. And you can also press and hold the N key, which will engage auto land. Tapping F4 brings you out to third person again, which can let you watch your landing cinemagically. And you may be wondering how to refuel your ship. So we're going to go to Vehicle Maintenance Services in your Moby Glass when you are landed on an approved pad. And we're going to refuel both our quantum and our hydrogen. There's a current bug where it shows the same price for both. As you can see, we've used a little bit of hydrogen fuel escaping the atmosphere of Microtech, and we have made it to our location. Lovely.